Hi everybody. So I'm doing this YouTube video for my expert ethics class. By the way, my name is Kendra. It's nice to meet you. So we're studying the Casey Anthony case, and I'm really at a loss on this, only because I have to separate my feelings as a mother with my feelings as what the evidence showed. So, the first question that we had to do was, do I agree with the verdict, why or not? And I'm going to tell you right now, I do not agree with it. There was too much evidence that showed that it was possible. So the defense tried to say that the prosecution had a lot of circumstantial evidence, but in reality they really didn't. They had a lot of physical, like real evidence, and I'll get into that question too. So the mother in me is really like, how could she be so blasé about the whole thing if she wasn't guilty? Like, she's out partying, she's getting tattoos, she's doing her thing, and her little girl is missing. And she's not even really seeming like she's worried about it. I know if it was like one of my children, I'd be beside myself if I had nothing to do with it and my kids are gone. One of my children are gone. I'm going to be absolutely beside myself, and I'm going to be losing my mind about it. And she's just acting like everything is fine and everything's good, and it's not a big deal. And I can't wrap my head around that as a person, but really as a mother, I cannot understand why she's just so okay with it. Really, kind of is what it seems like, and I don't understand that at all. Um, so the second question was, list the evidence in the case and what we thought was real evidence. First of all, let me preface this by saying there was 400 pieces of evidence. So of course I'm not. There's no way that I could go through all 400 pieces of evidence, even if it was listed anywhere, all 400. Um, so I'm gonna hit the highlights. And so the highlights are, there was a strand of hair, of Casey's hair. I'm sorry, of Kaylee's hair. I'm sorry, in Casey's trunk. There was a bottle of chloroform in Casey's trunk. There was some duct tape found on the skull itself when they found the body. There was Kaylee's blanket from her bed that matched her sheets and her pillowcases in her house. That is all there. So that is physical evidence. There was also some Google searches on neck breaking and how to make chloroform, how to administer chloroform. That is all physical evidence. There was also expert witnesses, which would be physical evidence. There was two coroners. There was a FBI fingerprint expert. There was a canine cadaver dog. There was a chemistry professor. There was a I'm sorry, I'm trying a forensics document examiner to check all the emails, make sure that they were legit and they weren't like hacked or whatever. All of this is physical evidence too. Now there was some conjure in there. There was they the defense tried to bring in a lady that said she had an affair with Casey Anthony's dad, and that was kind of not really hearsay because she did testify. The lady did testify, but it proved to be wrong, and so that really was neither here or there. So they did have a lot of physical evidence on both sides, actually, for and against. But I think the prosecution did a better job of having the hard evidence. The defense had some theories. Casey her daughter drowned in the pool, and she tried to cover it up because she panicked. Things like that. But the prosecution really had more of the physical evidence that proved that, at least, if nothing else, there should have been a reasonable doubt. A shadow of a doubt should have been cast in there somewhere, because they had enough evidence that the jury should have, had some kind of reasonable doubt. I mean, Casey Anthony was caught in a lot of lies and backtracked a lot. So there should have been some reasonable doubt, and I think the prosecution did a better job of bringing in the physical evidence to do that. The last question, is what key piece or pieces of evidence was not brought to trial, and why is that so important? And I'm going to say, first and foremost, um, Casey Anthony herself did not testify, and she was a very big piece of evidence. So, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but if I am accused of anything, especially of killing my child, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to get on that stand, and I'm going to, tell my side of the story. I'm going to, not let everybody do all the talking for me. My voice is going to be heard. And the fact that she didn't, I think, shows to me that she was guilty, because only guilty people are going to keep their mouths shut. Any reasonable, I mean, even if your lawyer's telling you not to, any reasonable, sane person is going to defend themselves. You did it at school with the school bully. You do it at work if your boss is, accusing you of something that you're not doing your job correctly or whatever. You defend yourself then. So why would you not defend yourself when you are being accused of murder, especially of your child? In fact, I'm going to read this word for word so I get it right. Lead prosecutor Linda Drain Burdick said, and this sums up my thoughts exactly: what do guilty people do? They lie, they avoid, they run, they mislead. They divert attention away from themselves, and they act like nothing is wrong. And Casey Anthony did every single one of those things. Every single one of those things. And so I think that just proves that she was guilty in some way. Now, she was acquitted of charges of killing her daughter. Now, she got some minor little charges, lying to the police, obstruction of justice. Okay, I get it. She did get caught on some things. But I don't think she got charged for the correct things. I really, in my bones, feel like she had something to do with her daughter disappearing and dying. And I really feel like we got cheated. Justice was not served. And I feel that to my bones. But in all actuality, in all reality, the only person that really knows what did or didn't happen to Kaylee Marie Anthony is her mom, Casey, and she wasn't talking. She still isn't talking. She still says that, she's innocent. And I think she was the key piece of evidence that should have been presented and should have been given a chance to be heard. Now, she may have chose not to, and she actually has that right, absolutely. But I think she was the key piece of evidence. So thank you for listening to my video, and you guys have a great day.